Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's late night cast. I'm Dead Latin here with our C West matchup of Pigeon Stitches versus Piecemeal. Two teams who have had a up and down season so far, but it's just the beginning and they're looking to turn it around. Pigeon Stitches still looking for their first win. Meanwhile, Piecemeal coming off of a win against any Oak League, so it should be interesting to see if they are able to keep that momentum going. Anyways, now looking to the maps for today's match, what we see is that Pigeon Stitches won the flip and decided to... I don't know why it shows that they picked. However, they won the coin flip and decided to take first pick. So, and they ended up banning out Dragonshire and BOE. Meanwhile, Piecemeal banned out Cursed Hall and Sky Temple and is taking us to Infernal Shrines. So Infernal Shrines definitely a favorite here in Div C. So it should be interesting to see how these teams play, especially look to the mage players of both teams, as they can really do a lot in terms of not only hero damage, but also in terms of objective. I don't want to say damage, but I guess clearing in order to capture. But the teams are already ready. So we will be getting right into the draft of today's match. Now first up here for Pigeon Stitches. Looking at who they might look to at least ban out early. Nubrak is a favorite first ban of teams. Likely, it's very rare that he goes through the draft at the lower levels. Also likely to be banned out here by Pigeon Stitches is ETC. Is their most banned hero so far this season. So it should be interesting to see if they decide to go with that versus the Nubrak. So far though, Pigeon Stitches has played on Infernal Shrines all three of their games so far. So they actually banned out Tyrande first. Very interesting ban. The reason why is that Piecemeal in their last match ran Tyrande very successfully, able to get the 2-0 on Tyrande of both maps. So perhaps watching over the film, Pigeon Stitches saw that as the key to Piecemeal's victory last match. Meanwhile, Maiev going to be banned out here by Piecemeal. Hasn't been played yet, but by Pigeon Stitches this season. So it's just a good meta ban though overall. Maiev hasn't really decreased in power too much. Meanwhile, Diablo going to end up being banned out. Has only been played once by Piecemeal, and Pigeon Stitches actually generally are the Diablo playing team, so it looks like they're going to be swapping it up a little bit. Perhaps going to ETC instead, which is their second most played main tank. Or maybe they're looking at stealing an Nubrak if he makes it through the ban phase. But it definitely looks like Pigeon Stitches trying to change up their strategy a little bit here. Meanwhile, Johanna going to be banned by Piecemeal. I really like this ban, even though not necessarily played by Pigeon Stitches. Them banning out Diablo means that maybe they're going that defensive strat, which Johanna goes around. Instead, they are going to be putting Killer Fry on a Nubrak this time around. So, should be interesting to see how the new Pigeon Stitches Nubrak dive ends up going in. Killer Fry sometimes on Diablo was caught out a little bit too much, so maybe with the Nubrak, a little bit more sustained, we'll be able to survive with it. And along with the additional trading out more crowd control for damage with that Nubrak instead of Diablo. Meanwhile, Polyand going to be picking up Jaina as long as Dark Knight on Phoenix. Phoenix should be interesting to see where he's played. Was played in their last match. They went with this Jaina Phoenix combo on Volskaya. And it looks like the Phoenix was an assassin, not in the solo lane, so we'll be still likely going to pick up Bruiser on the side of Piecemeal. I mean, Zeratul Ana shows just how aggressive Pigeon Stitches is looking to go on. Actually really love the Zeratul pickup by Shives. It gives Fry a very nice dive partner to go with. The only thing that you're going to be looking for the rest of the draft is can they get a bruiser who can help kind of support and peel off of Slava if a turnaround comes through. Kael'thas's going to be the second ban here from Piecemeal. Just making sure that Pigeon Stitches doesn't take one of the strongest assassins on Infernal. Just with his Shrine ability. You know, for Pigeon Stitch's next ban, likely going to be another main tank ban. Now, what could be interesting is the fact that Shrine's yet to be played by Piecemeal. They've actually played almost every single other map in the pool, but they are kind of a more flexible team. They aren't specialists on any one map, although they do love Volskaya and Towers. They kind of more adapt their strategies though to the team they're playing. As it is going to be Murd and Sonya, so very much looking like the comp they tried to start running last match on Volskaya, where they went Jaina, Sonya, Tyrande, ETC, Phoenix, instead swapping out the Murden, which is who they ended up picking up in their second match, perhaps because the ETC was banned out. But definitely going to be putting some pressure onto Slava with that Muradin, and Gambit on the Sonya as well. Junkrat Rex are going to be closing out the draft for Pigeon Stitches. Definitely going to be interesting to see how Avian is playing, whether it's more of an aggressive Rexar to follow up and just really get the CC chains going with Fry, or whether it's going to be staying back more in order to help protect Slava when Gambit and Broiled Beef go in on the dive or the counter dive. So definitely look out to that. Meanwhile, Deathchild area back on the Junkrat. Definitely a favorite of his. And Uther actually going to be the support being played here by Odd Thought, looking to mitigate some of the initial bursts coming out from Pigeon Stitches. This is actually pretty smart last pick support here, going with perhaps trying to counter more against the burst dive aggressive comp, look to try to absorb the initial dive from Pigeon Stitches, and then re-engage onto the Slava and potentially Deathchild area, who are generally more backline, are preferring to stay in the backline away from potential divers. And then hopefully it's just a race of, after you use Odd Thought's heals and resources, you end up killing Slava, so where you're up in the fight already. And that doesn't matter that you have the massive Uther cooldowns. But anyways, enough of my love of supports. I think I overall prefer the comp of Pigeon Stitches. I'm excited to see how they change it up. However, Piecemeal definitely poised to try to counter some of the pressure. The only thing to look out for is, of course, with Zeratul. You're definitely a late game comp, so it's up to Pigeon Stitches to try to get some picks in order to keep the game going into the late game, to where Shives can come online and either turn the game around if they are behind being a late game comp, or potentially turn a neutral game into one in Pigeon Stitch's advantage. But here we go for game number 1. For Pigeon Stitches, it's going to be Killer Fry on the Nubarak, Deathchild area on the Junkrat, Blackened Avian on the Rexar, Slava on the Ana, and CM Shives on the Zeratul. Meanwhile, for Piecemeal, it's going to be Dark Knight on Phoenix, Gambit on the Sonya, Broiled Beef on Murden, Apollyon on Jaina, and Odd Thought on the Uther. Gambit flexing a little bit with that, I believe, level 100 Mastery Taunt. I could be corrected, though. I don't remember the exact level requirements for each of the Mastery Taunts. But both teams going to be starting out all mid for now. Killer Fry just kind of looking to see if he can get a pick to start it off. So it's going to be Misha finding the initial damage through. And both teams just backing off for now. Piecemeal not really looking to take a fight early on, as we already see Sonya and Rex are peeling off for the solo lane. Now it looks like Pigeon Stitch is going to be trying to get a 1-3-1 instead of going for the 4-man rotation, as we do see Piecemeal already starting off. Shive's able to get the clear fast enough though, and of course with the mobility that Zeridol has, able to successfully escape before the 4-man rotation able to force him out. In fact, it looks like Pigeon Stitch is now going to be starting to get a little bit of rotation going. Shive's going in, and we see Killer Fry trying to find the pick on Napoleon. However, not quite able to find the damage. Death Child area going a little bit deep, looking to finish off the kill, but not quite able to find it, and Shives will just peel off in order to get the soak in the bottom lane. But still, a nice early engage here from Pigeon Stitches. Just able to catch out Napoleon, stepping up a little bit too much, looking for the regen globes. Speaking of regen globes, looking at the quests, we do see his Fingers of Frost for Jaina. It actually is Q quests coming out from Uther. Excuse me. Other than that, regen quests, or not regen quests. God, that would be horrible for Murden. Just regen talent coming out for Murden. Third Wind. And then it is going to be full Beetle build, it looks like, coming from Killer Fry on a Nubarak, taking the level 1 Beetle talent. No, I don't think he's going to be going the Beetle Ultimate as well. But still, interesting. And Slavo going to stay on the now slightly nerfed, but definitely the best talent choice on Ana with the grenades. Also, something to note, Shive's going to be taking the Cleave build that recently got nerfed just with the Wormhole nerfs coming through. So definitely look to see how the playstyle potentially changed up now that you don't have that instant teleport back on Wormhole. Looks like we will be getting a pause here for a second, as it looks like Killer Fry did drop from the game. So gonna be pausing as we wait for the Anubarak player to come back. Looking in the top lane though real quick, while we are waiting for Black and Avian to come back, it does look like Avian's been getting the best of Gambit so far. Looks like though we will be transitioning right back to the match. But Black and Avian's been getting slightly the better of Gambit, putting a lot of pressure and forcing Gambit to tap now rather than keep it up for the objective. But in the meanwhile, Piecemeal going to be able to take the bot siege camp. Never put some pressure here. It looks like Pigeon Stitch is going to rotate down in order to try to assist and alleviate the pressure. The Strive is going to be in the spot area though, so not going to be too much of an issue for Pigeon Stitches. No team's looking to get their Shaman camp before the Shrine activates, so teams are going to be even in terms of lane pressure. Question is, who's going to activate it? It does look like Sonya first to rotate down from top, as Gambit going to be rotating right in. Killer Fry though gets out of the bush. It's just kind of looking around for potential engage, but they still don't have Avian here quite yet, so they can't go in. That Killer Fry going to take a lot of damage there, forced to burrow out and tap up, heal up, and so Piecemeal going to take this opportunity to start the first, or activate the Shrine. Now Boiled Brief already used the jump, in a lot of trouble, will end up going down there to Avian. A nice early pickoff there from Pigeon Stitches, as Killer Fry now going on to Dark Knight, looking to get the damage through. I thought those stuns Killer Fry out, as Pigeon Stitches now going to peel off for now and try to get some minions out of the way before we see the Murden return. Already up to 25 though. With Shives on that Cleave build though, that does provide a ton of nice AoE damage to help with the Shrine Clear. Killer Fry ends up going in, but immediately gets stunned out there by, I thought, a nice Sleep Dart though from Slava allows for Killer Fry to get away. In comes Boiled Brief, but it might be too late. Up to 39 minions for Pigeon Stitches. They are going to be able to finish off the Punisher. Will Killer Fry look for an engage here potentially? It looks like Piecemeal will be able to successfully disengage. However, really good sign for Pigeon Stitches. They're able to pick up this first Punisher with kind of more of a late game comp. Shive's low on mana, so it's not like they can be too aggressive with this Punisher, especially as it is early. Just going to be looking to finish off the gate and escape. which they do. Already see so far XP wise, slight advantage for Pigeon Stitches, about a third of a level-ish, but definitely not too much of an advantage for Piecemeal to be worrying about quite yet. As we do see Pigeon Stitches now starting on their siege camp here with Slava and Deathchild area. Meanwhile, Piecemeal starting with Odd Thought and Dark Knight, while Broiled Beef keeps vision out for his team. With both Impaler camps being picked up, we do see actually Avian going to start on Pigeon Stitch's Shaman camp for now, as the teams rotate into the mid lane in order to clear out the opposite team's camp. Broiled Beef going to be knocked up from the Junkrat grenade, but is going to be able to get out. Meanwhile, Shives took a lot of damage. I thought has been pretty key in getting the stuns in pretty quickly on either Shives or Fry, whoever is the first to engage. However, they just haven't found the damage quite yet in order to get the kills to punish the dives yet. As we do see Broiled Beef, though, able to get the kill on the Shives this time around, having both the Hammer and Odd Thought stun. Plenty of CC time. As we do see Wormhole is taken by Shives. Perhaps was thinking along the lines of having that Wormhole, you're able to just easily get your cleave combo off and get out. Now you have to stay in for, I believe it's 2 seconds now. Let me check just to make sure. A second and a half now, which leaves open the window of opportunity for teams to stun you, as you just saw. Piecemeal going to take this opportunity to take the bot siege camp now, as we see Killer Fry and Slava rotating down. Killer Fry looked for the stun onto Odd Thought, isn't going to be able to find it, so we'll just try to back up as Slava tries to heal Killer Fry back up. Ultimate's now online for Pigeon Stitches, as we do see the cocoon coming from Killer Fry. Junkrat Riptire, that is Bestial Wrath from Rexar. I have Horus actually coming out from Slava, and Void Prison for Zeratol. Meanwhile, on the side of Piecemeal, it is going to be Ring of Frost from Jaina, Wrath of the Berserker out of Sonya, Haymaker, actually Haymaker from Murden. That's quite a surprise. Perhaps going to be looking for the punish onto Slava for taking I have Horus. You can just Haymaker. It's a free Haymaker basically onto Ana. So we do see Deathchild able to disengage successfully. Odd Thought still holding the ult for now. So it should be interesting to see which way Odd Thought is thinking. Pigeon Stitches is going to activate the Shrine though, and start on it. Just trying to poke it down with Shives and Deathchild area. Killer Fry actually going on a gambit, but the Ring of Frost ends up hitting 3 members as Killer Fry and Shives taking a lot of damage. Shives going low, is able to get the Void Prison in order to escape. Shives now getting in. A nice D-shield though onto Sonya, able to keep Gambit alive. Broiled Beef able to barely get away. However, Killer Fry will end up finding the kill on to Gambit. Now it's back in Avian. Will end up going down. Broiled Beef able to get healed back up with the trait. And so it will be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Piecemeal. However, Odd Thought might be in some trouble. Killer Fry going in. The Sleep Dart from Slava ends up hitting. And well as the Biotic Grenade will allow for them to pick off Odd Thought. So it is now a 3-for-3 with Deathchild Area going to be able to easily poke with the grenades. And as we see Killer Fry now going in out of Apollyon. Will they be able to find the damage? I don't believe they will be able to. However, Slava's going to be able to pump out the heals on the Killer Fry to keep him alive for now. Shives now back, looking to finish off a kill, but not able to quite find it as Deathchild area going to be dove upon from Gambit, but Black and Avian in time in order to get the disengage. But in the meanwhile, Piecemeal able to pick up the Protector, and so that will force the retreat from Pigeon Stitches. Overall, though, very close objective phase, but Piecemeal just in the chaos of the fight, continuing to pick up the objective, and will allow for them to get the second Protector and look to take down this fort. Misha will go down early, but a nice grenade by Deathchild area, getting Gabe out of position, but not able to capitalize on it quite yet. Punisher now finishing off the fort as Wrath of the Berserker is popped there from Gambit, looking to get some more siege damage as they smell blood, looking for the keep. A nice leap dart in the air onto Apollyon, forces out the D-Shield to be used onto the Jaina. Raygun Frost ends up hitting Misha as well as Killer Fry, as we do see Cocoon going on to Gambit, but will immediately be popped. Gambit, though, going low and doesn't have D-Shield to save him this time around. However, the damage not able to come through as the Punisher falls. And so, Piecemeal is going to back up, being able to take the fort and the keep wall as well. So pretty good for the second Punisher. Now they're going to be looking to pick up and invade Pigeon Stitch's siege camp with 13 advantage. However, Pigeon Stitch is now picking up 13, but Killer Fry taking a lot of damage, so he'll be forced to back up and wait for Blackened Avian to rotate in from top lane where he was taking the Bruiser camp, not able to come in time, and so Pigeon Stitch is just gonna have to be forced to defend against this Impaler camp. Meanwhile, we see Piecemeal rotating down in order to capture the siege camp in the bot lane as well. Able to pick it up in time, as now they rotate onto their own Impaler camp. One thing to note though is that they did have Gambit rotate down, so they won't be picking up the XP in the top lane. However, Blackened Avian was picking up the Bruiser camp, so it's not like they're going to be too far behind in terms of XP. And now that they do have a Gambit here, potentially looking for the 5v4 fight. However, Pigeon Stitch is going to safely rotate into the mid lane and avoid the fight for now. Shive just looking to get some poke damage on the Gambit as they do clear out this mid lane. Looks like Piecemeal rotated safely around in order to get their Bruiser camp. We do see Pigeon Stitches looking for the invade potentially here. However, they do see the remaining members of Piecemeal rotating in and are going to decide to back up for now. Shive's going in on a Gambit, looking to get some poke damage in, ends up teleporting back in actually, as we see Killer Fry initiating the dive. In comes Blackened Avian's Misha, not able to find it as Broiled Beef ends up being knocked away from his team, but easily able to leap back. They do end up using... Nah, I'm mistaken. That wasn't Wrath of the Berserker. That was just the chain from Sonya. So no ults used by either team quite yet, as we do see Piecemeal now taking their Bruiser camp. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Pigeon Stitch is looking to get some siege damage in, able to take down the gate, and now are deciding to back up. Overall, both teams just trying to dance around each other as they wait for this Shrine phase to activate. Looks like Piecemeal potentially trying to set up a gank opportunity. Instead, they're just going to rotate down in order to get some siege damage now that they see the members of Pigeon Stitches in the top lane. May be valuable later on if they're able to capture the Shrine. However, this is the last fight that Piecemeal is going to get before that 16 power spike comes in from Zeratul. Apollyon is able to take out the very valuable, but Shives kind of catches it out a little bit, ends up going in, as we do see the Cage ends up catching 3 members. Shives take a lot of damage though from Gambit, as Phoenix will go down the tire, but traded out with Shives. Now Gambit going deep. Apollyon take a lot of damage for Deathchild. Aerie will end up going down. Now Slava with the Eye of Horus able to get a lot of damage and healing in order to keep Killer Fry up, as well as get the kill onto Apollyon. It's now Broiled Beef going to be able to leap up, but still a 3-for-1 trade for Pigeon Stitches, as they will start on the objective. And now they do have 16 for Shives. Going to provide a huge boost in terms of damage and as well as a shrine taking ability for Pigeon Stitches. So overall, looking very good. Blackened Avian going to be looking to get a little bit more soak and siege damage in the mid lane as well, as Oddthought and Broiled Beef rotate in order to deal with the Rexar player. As we see Pigeon Stitches now finishing up. Will they hold it at 39? Looks like they will not. Instead, are going to take it immediately and look to push it down. They already have taken down the spot for it with the first Punisher phase and later damage from the camps, as they do now start on the siege camp. A little bit of mistake there. Should have kept the Punisher at 39, taken at least the bot siege camp, if not more, and so that they can push with the Punisher, especially this frozen one, which is the strongest one with its ability to turn off structures now. It's going to give a lot of free clear to Piecemeal, as the Punisher already down to 60%. but it looks like the root ends up going out onto Oddthought, is forced to use D-Shield onto himself, just to keep him alive as the tire ends up popping onto Broiled Beef. Gambit looking to go in onto Blackadavian Slava, but will end up going down himself. Now Broiled Beef taking a lot of damage, forced to back up. Ring of Frost ends up catching two members as we do see Death Child area going down. Shive's forced to use his ult in order to back up, but Horse able to get the response kill onto Dark Knight, but force Pigeon Stitches to back up before they're able to finish off the keep with the Punisher, who is about to go down. So overall, you take this, if you're Piecemeal, even though you lost the trade 2 for 1, you are able to defend your keep for now. Thus, you don't have to be worrying about that bot lane for at least another like 2-3 minutes before the next objective phase comes up, assuming you don't lose another big fight before then. However, that keep is loosened or low enough to where that is kind of an end lane now for Pigeon Stitches, if they are able to get a dominant teamfight victory. While the lowest lane for Piecemeal is still this mid keep, while only has a small chunk taken out of it, it'd be a little bit more of a reach. You'd have to have pretty much like a 4-1 entire team wipe situation before Piecemeal can end. Bruiser Camp picked up here by Pigeon Stitches as we see Killer Fry just trying to keep vision out. Is able to find Dark Knight, but is going to retreat to his team. As we see Broiled Beef trying to go in, ends up using the Haymaker onto Deathchild area along with the Uther Sun, will end up getting the pick. Actually finding value with Haymaker. So, much to his chagrin, I bet. Even though I personally think that you don't need Haymaker to be getting as much value, especially when you are a main tank. Able to find some value there and provide Piecemeal and window of opportunity as they look to take down this top fort. Something Piecemeal has been doing a good job is being able to get that siege damage when they win team fights decisively. However, Pigeon Stitch is going to take this opportunity to finish off this bot keep. Go ahead and confirm it with Blackadavian's Misha in a minute now. But Pigeon Stitch is now going to continue to move on as they look for the top gate and potentially the entire keep if we don't see a response here from Pigeon Stitches, as we see the members now coming back from their backs. As we see Shives going in, ends up getting stunned up though. It will end up going down. Slava did force pop Eye of Horus in order to try to keep Shives alive, but it's not enough. Now Killer Fry in a lot of trouble. Will end up getting hit by Ring of Frost. The damage will be enough for him to end up going down. Riptire not able to find a response kill as well. And so a 2-for-1 or 2-for-none trade will allow for Piecemeal to stay here and look for the keep in the top lane. Misha will end up going down, trying to zone out the members of Piecemeal, but now that they have their minion wave, they're going to look to go in. Wrath of the Berserker is popped. If you're Pigeon Stitches, you kind of need to give this and make sure that one more member does not go down, because that could signal the end of the game if Piecemeal is able to find one more pick. Looks like they're not going to be able to find it though, so they will back up onto the shrine that is ready to be activated. Both teams will hit 20 during this shrine phase, as they are pretty close. Apollyon will back in order to deal with the catapults that are gathering in the bot lane for now. As you do see, Pigeon Stitch is still waiting for Killer Fry to come back up. Ultimate's now coming online though. Hardened Shield actually being taken by Killer Fry as well as Rexar. Eye of Horse upgrade coming through for Slava. Hungry Cold. Shadow Mending gonna be the pick there from Shives. And then a grenade damage or cannonball gonna be the pick for Death Child area. As we see Killer Fry going in yet again, however ends up getting stunned up. The Ring of Frost able to catch Shives, but the damage not quite able to find the kill. As now we see the members of Piecemeal being freed from their void prison. Looking to go on the aggressive, but Apollyon ends up going low. Will end up going down to Blackadavian. Now Broiled Beef in a lot of trouble. Will still end up going down. Shives and Killer Fry both very low. Have to be careful as Gambit looking to confirm the kill on the Killer Fry. Not able to quite find it. Will be forced to back up for now. as we do see Odd Thought picking his 20 just now, as Shive's now very low, will end up being finished off there by Gambit. Now Killer Fry in a lot of trouble, as well as Black and Avian. Gambit looking to try to turn around this team fight by himself. Odd Thought and Gambit now looking to turn it around on Deathchild area. Can they confirm the kill? Killer Fry ends up finding the kill onto Odd Thought, as Gambit confirms the kill in Deathchild area. Spinning to win. Black and Avian going very low, will still end up going down. Odd Thought will come back to life with that level 20 resurrection, as we see Piecemeal picking up the Punisher. This is looking very dire now for Pigeon Stitches. It looked like they'd locked up the fight, but not able to focus down the last remaining members, including Gambit, who was able to turn around the 5v3 and to secure the objective. But now can they finish off the core? Gambit will not have Wrath in order to help with the siege damage, but they will have 2 catapults in the mid lane to help with it. Their siege. I stand mistaken. Here comes Wrath the Berserker out onto Killer Fry. As we see Shives now back up, looking to put some damage onto Gambit and Odd Thought, and ends up using the Void Person on the core to keep it up for a little bit longer, but I don't think it will be enough. Core down to 20% now, and with the Mortar Punisher still at 75%, Piecemeal will be able to finish off game number 1. Very close game there, but Piecemeal able to get a couple picks later on in the game, able to use those picks to, I guess, prep the top lane, and then secure that objective with a nice turnaround teamfight victory in order to secure this game. Looking at the stats of Deathchild area with the 80,000 lobbing in the grenades, the overall, clear overall damage dealer of the game. Meanwhile, Slava on Lana, of course, out healing Odd Thought on Uther. That's just how the heroes are kind of designed. However, Odd Thought had the stuns to make up for the lack of heals in Uther's kit. Meanwhile, for damage taken, it was Black and Avian on Rexar who took the most. And when I say Rexar, of course, I mean Misha, and also was the top soaker of the game. Kills actually were completely even. It's just the timely kills came in, is even though they had more of a late game comp, the late game ended up being won out there by Piecemeal, surprisingly enough. So now it will be up to Pigeon Stitches. They want first pick or map pick for this upcoming game. But definitely, I will say, very improved from Pigeon Stitches compared to their last matches. And I think having Killer Fry in the Nubrak is a lot better. Just able to find the CC as opposed to a Diablo. And instead have the Assassins come in with the damage instead of having Killer Fry trying to get the solo picks on the Diablo. Looks like they'll be taking first pick. As I forgot again to show talents. We'll do that really quickly. Sorry about that. But they will be taking first pick. So it's gonna be up to Piecemeal if they want which map they want to go to. Go ahead and message them real quick. Tip, make sure to allow non-friends to whisper you when you are an NGS captain, so the caster can kind of coordinate with you. Oh no, now it's time for me to play the game of who allows the whispers. So sorry, it's going to be a little bit of delay here as I try to get through to Piecemeal. gonna go ahead and put it in general NGS chat, so hopefully that will get through to them through the appropriate channels. Oh, message that they will go to Volskaya Foundry for our next map. So Volskaya, I guess they wanted a map similar to Infernal after their victory. As you see, both pretty like medium-sized area fight-focused maps. Of course, the objective a little bit different, but it's as similar to each other as you can get. So it should be interesting to see if the teams shape or mix up their strategies at all. I expect it's going to be about the same. We see generally Pigeon Stitches tries to run the same comps. Although maybe they'll go back to Diablo. They actually had Slava on Ana, so maybe they do change it up a little bit. Should be interesting to see. Yeah, I agree. It's totally because the teams are toxic. No one just wants to talk to us casters. However, at least we were able to get the communication through. Oh, it looks like broiled beef. Also, I didn't actually catch it out, but was using the banned Muradin skin. Kind of forgot about Muradin's banned skin. A little bit. I don't think it's that bad though on Infernal, so not too bad that he used the banned skin. And of course it wasn't called out by either team, so we don't have to, it doesn't come into effect at all. But also another PSA, please don't use banned skins. It's like the worst way of cheating is using a banned skin. Even though it's not really cheating. It's more the HOTS dev team is cheating us by making cool skins hard to see. Also, thanks to Max Mazillion for following. Just noticed that now. It's one of the things I dislike of casting is you generally don't want to have notifications up and running to distract from the action. So generally I try to catch up in between games and after too. Hopefully you're still around. Teams though, readying up, so hopefully we'll be going shortly. Definitely though, if I'm Piecemeal, I don't think you need to be too comfortable. Pigeon Stitches with a late, as I was saying, with a late game comp, ended up kind of losing the early game. So perhaps making sure you don't get necessarily, you can absorb the dive a little bit more, make adjustments, or potentially just ban out an Ubrak. I think that might be their best bet to try to adapt to Pigeon Stitch's early game dive abilities. We'll be getting into the draft now. So first ban for Pigeon Stitches, I expect them to keep it the same. I don't know if the Muradin, if they actually try to ban Muradin instead. However, they do vary their bans up quite a bit. It's not like they keep standard bans. Meanwhile, we could definitely see some target bans coming up from Piecemeal this time around. Perhaps instead of Maiev, you go with Zeratul, as they both tend to do the same job of being annoying backline assassins that turn into very scary backline assassins, or backline diving assassins. I shouldn't call them backline assassins, as they aren't. As Tyrande will be the first ban yet again from Pigeon Stitches. Again though, credit to Piecemeal's pick of I thought on the Uther, as it was able to successfully shut down Shives in the dive a little bit later on, catch him out, along with perhaps also the adjustment made was making sure that Muradin was back in order to follow up with the stun. And perhaps you just try to keep that going. Meanwhile, Maiev is going to be banned yet again by Piecemeal, not wanting to chance it. As Pigeon Stitch is this time going to ban out a Nubrak. So perhaps they will be going back to their Diablo dive. Comfort. I should say comfort. Well, yeah, I should say comfort Diablo dive. Meanwhile, for Piecemeal, perhaps they were planning on banning out Nubrak. So now I have to change it up a little bit. Looks like they're going to stay with their Johanna ban from last game, though. As Diablo will be the first pickup from Killer Fry. So, definitely looking to go back to... I don't want to really say old school Pigeon Stitches because it's just the 4th match into the year, but at least historic, more their generic... I don't want to say generic comp, their normal comp, I guess, of Pigeon Stitches. You know, Dark Knight going to be back on the Phoenix as well as Broiled Beef on the Muradin. So looking to keep things relatively the same on the side of Piecemeal. Do we perhaps see like a Jaina steal on the side of Pigeon Stitches? Or maybe you get a Kael'thas here as well. They have shown to play Kael'thas in the past on Volskaya. As instead it's going to be Slav Deckard and Shives this time on Greymane. Looking perhaps to get a little bit more burst damage on the target that Fry was going for. But still, they aren't going to kind of their general comp. Should be interesting to see if we see Death Child area on Junkrat again, as Kayle will be banned out by Piecemeal. And if Blackened Avian ends up going Rexar yet again. But Blackened Avian typically tends to flex around, so perhaps they kind of see what direction Piecemeal is going with their next 2 picks and adapt accordingly. Maybe one thing I would like to see out of Pigeon Stitches is like an Imperious follow-up to the Sun. Meanwhile, for Piecemeal, I think you pick up perhaps Jaina here. That was working out really well for you last game. And then maybe hold Odd Thought's pick to last yet again in order to adapt to whatever healer or whatever last 2 picks we see coming through from Pigeon Stitches. It will be the Jaina picked up as well as Gambit back on the Sonya. I don't know if they'll necessarily be going Uther this time around, as that was kind of more to counter the Zeratul pick. However, maybe you say, if it worked last game, we can counter Diablo plus Greymane when he eventually goes in as well. As Deathchild area this time going to be on Tychus this time, in order to help try to absorb the tank dive a little bit better. And Blackened Avian will be on the Imperious in order to potentially follow up with the stuns from Killer Fry. Meanwhile, support pick here coming out for Piecemeal. I don't know which direction they're necessarily going to go. Perhaps you don't really want an Ana against Diablo. Maybe like a Lucio could be the pickup here in order to give the shield this time around with the beat. Instead, it's going to be the Brightwing. A little bit more heals, while still being able to polymorph in order to help deny any potential dive attempts. I think this time around I prefer the comp coming out from Piecemeal. I think they showed they'd be able to absorb it. Any pressure from Pigeon Stitches. However, the thing to look out for is Pigeon Stitches comp strong in the early game. And so if they are winning those early team fights like they were last game, they can definitely push their advantages a lot more with a gray main siege as well as with the protector. So it should be interesting to see how this match potentially differs from the last map. However, we did see Piecemeal was able to survive against the dive last game. Will they be able to do so again this time around? But here we go for game number 2. It's going to be Pigeon Stitches looking to stay alive with Blackened Avian on the Imperious, Shives on Greymane, Deathchild area on Tychus, Killer Fry on Diablo, and Slava on the Deckard. Meanwhile, for Piecemeal, it's going to be Dark Knight on the Phoenix, Odd Thought on Brightwing, Apollyon on Jaina, Broiled Beef on Muradin, and Gambit back on Sonya. Should be interesting to see if they do end up going Haymaker yet again. I have a feeling it might be Avatar, now that they don't have Eye of Horus Anna on the other side. Although still could be looking to get dive onto Slava this time around, even if Slava won't be as stationary as he was last game. Both teams sending all members mid, as it will be Blackened Avian going to be peeling off now, as well as Gambit to go into their solo lanes. Curiously enough, Slava also rotating with Blackened Avian, so it's going to be a 4v3 in the mid for just a second until the teams do split back off. Four-man rotate as a standard coming through from Piecemeal, especially with Apollyon's clear on Jaina. Going to be pretty clean. Broiled Beef looking to potentially take a more aggressive stance. Instead, just going to allow his teammates to finish off the rotation. A nice scroll ends up locking up Dark Knight, as we saw Broiled Beef trying to interrupt the rotations coming in from Pigeon Stitches, but didn't quite have the damage to catch out Deathchild area. Said both teams looking about equal so far on their minion clear in rotations. Shive's a little bit behind this time around as they do send Deathchild area. Start with the clear, as now Piecemeal rotating up to continue. Broiled Beef just kind of hitting the support camp, maybe potentially trying to dummy and make it look like it, as Apollyon stepped up for the globe, but forced to back, able to get away with his life. As we look to the talents now, it will actually be Greater Polymorph coming out, as we see the Scroll of Sealing hitting Apollyon there, and forcing the teleport to come out now. But anyways, Greater Polymorph for Odd Thought. Other than that, pretty standard. Surprisingly enough, the scroll quest will be taken by Slava in order to get that reduced damage. Deathchild area taking a lot of damage from Apollyon and Dark Knight, but will be able to back up thanks to Killer Fry's charge. We do see this time looks like Piecemeal are actually committing to the support camp. However, Pigeon Stitches easily is able to see this. Slava trying to put some heals on the point, as Killer Fry just going to be able to get the free cap of the support camp. Very interesting play coming out from Piecemeal there. They kite the camp away, but they don't put anyone on the point, so Killer Fry just able to easily take that XP and item for free. Both teams yet to start on their turret camp, however. Looks like it will just be the support camp as an advantage for Pigeon Stitches. Deathchild area ends up getting polymorphed, but we don't see quite a commitment yet as the point does come on live. They have Slava touching it. The point for now, teleport goes on to Dark Knight. I think that might have been a little bit of a misclick there. Perhaps looking to mount up. Instead, you realize you're Brightwing and you teleport to a full health member instead. but that will be a crucial cooldown offline. As we see the dive going on to Broiled Beef, ends up getting locked up, but they can't find the damage to finish him off. Now Shive's in a lot of trouble as he went deep in order to try to look to finish off the kill. As the remaining members of Pigeon Stitches looking to try to finish off Gambit, Shives though will be able to get away with his life. They do end up getting the turret and using it on the side of Pigeon Stitches, as well as on the side of Piecemeal. As again, the pressure going to be put on the Broiled Beef, taking a lot of damage, but it's Death Shadow Area and Black and Avian who might end up paying for it. Gambit ends up going deep, finds the kill on Death Shadow Area, but goes down himself. As now we see Black and Avian looking to go in. Nice scroll ceiling, ends up blocking up 2 members of Piecemeal, but they're too low in order to really commit to going in quite yet. They do have the point though right now, so they will be getting progress. Happy to just sit on it for now and wait for Death Shadow Area to come back up. Broiled Beef yet again taking the damage, as we do see the cleanse coming out from Oddthought. Now Killer Fry in a little bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage from Apollyon. Broiled Beef trying to lock him up inside, and Killer Fry ends up catching out Apollyon, will end up finding the kill onto the Jaina, as now Oddthought in a lot of trouble. Gambit now coming back, looking to force Black and Avian to back up. Deathchild Area happy to do a ton of damage, ends up interrupting the teleport for Phoenix, and now Oddthought will end up going down as well. So some nice play from Pigeon Stitches will allow for them to get this first protector, and with 2 members down for 10 seconds, they can potentially go for this early fort. It'll be both the tanks in the protector right now, as Shive's in that Worgen form going to be able to do a ton of siege damage while they send Deathchild Area in the bot lane in order to do some soak. However, Pauline going to force a Pigeon Stitches to back up for now, and instead go to the top lane in order to get down the gate and well here. Members of Piecemeal now back up in order to help with the defense, as we see yet again 2 members locked up from Scroll of Stealing. However, looks like they will not quite be able to get the well on the side of Pigeon Stitches. So nice defense coming through from Piecemeal. 1 level advantage in the bank right now for Pigeon Stitches, as they look to confirm the kill on the Gambit, who was double soaking there, looking to try to make up that 1 level gap. And now it's Piecemeal looking to go in on the Killer Fry, who was pretty aggressively positioned from the dive onto Gambit, but not able to quite find the damage onto the full Souls Diablo. And so both teams will now back up onto their turret camp. Shive's going to quickly be able to do that, as well as Broiled Beef, Apollyon, and Dark Knight. As we see Pigeon Stitches about to hit their ultimates. You see, I believe that's Angelic Armaments. Yes, for Infurious. Call down Odin for Tychus. Remaining members of Pigeon Stitches yet to pick their ults. As we see the camp picked up here by Piecemeal, and now being started on by Pigeon Stitches. Will be APOC coming out from Diablo. Stay a while from Deckard, and Cursed Bullet actually from Greymane. Now Ultimate's about to be picked up here by Piecemeal, as the teams converge in the top lane. Piecemeal just waiting to get their ults online before they commit to a fight. As it will be Ring of Frost coming in from Jaina. Actually Leap this time from Sonya, as we see Gambit going in, looking for the kill on Deathchild Area, will be able to find it. Now Killer Fry in a lot of trouble, forced to use APOC, not able to quite find anyone yet, as Broiled Beef body blocking Killer Fry will end up going down. The Slava ends up hitting 2 with Stay a While, as well as with the scroll, but not able to find the kill from Shives. And so the siege going to be started here from Piecemeal. Looking back to the ultimate, it will be I forget blanking on ultimates for some reason right now. Oh, nice scroll there from Slava. Looking to get the kill on the Broiled Beef using Cursed Bullet, but not able to quite find it. But that will force Piecemeal to back up, as well as use a turret. Now we see Pigeon Stitches looking to go on the offensive. Oddthought being forced to back up. Emerald Wind coming for Brightwing. That will be Avatar this time for Broiled Beef, as the team's now engaged before I can get the ultimate readout from Phoenix, and before a pause. And last but not least, it will be Purification Salvo for Phoenix. But it looks like we had some lag from both teams, actually. Coming through, so just going to wait it out for a little second. Looking at some stats while we're paused right here now. It actually is Apollyon on Jaina leading both sides with 35,500. Or, excuse me, that's the siege damage. I forget it goes opposite ways in this screen. As the teams are now ready before I can really get the read off going. As you can see though, it actually is Dark Knight with 22,000 leading the way for Piecemeal. Meanwhile, Shives with 26,000 leading Pigeon Stitches for now. As we go back into the fight, Broiled Beef, Focus, not able to quite find the scroll though from Slava. So both teams gonna back up and now take their fight onto the control point. We do see Slava gonna be trying to set up the potions near the front of the control point. As we still have a half-level lead for Piecemeal, so they will be getting 13 relatively soon. Meanwhile, Piecemeal going to take this opportunity to take the support camp. Rotation coming down from Pigeon Stitches. They don't want to give this up for free, but looks like they are not going to take the engage. Can they get back in time in order to get the point back? Looks like they'll at least be able to get the start. Will Broiled Beef step up in time? A nice curse bullet on a Broiled Beef. Can they get the kill on him? The Ring of Frost ends up locking up two members as Death Child area will end up going down, but we do see Broiled Beef still going down as well. Now Gambit in a lot of trouble, but we'll be able to find the kill onto two. Now Gambit looking for Killer Fry. Will be going in. Can they find the damage? We'll be able to confirm the kill onto him. And so it will be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of Piecemeal now, as they will get their progress ticking up on the objective. Now 13's coming through for Piecemeal as well. Looking at the talents, it will be a Q build so far for Jaina. Meanwhile, Greater Polymorph being the build from Brightwing. Don't see that too often. A Spear build for Sonya. And just overall general main tank build from Muradin. Meanwhile, 13 about to hit 4 Pigeon Stitches. They're going to take their Siege Champ in order to get that last amount of XP. As now Killer Fry looking to get the engage here. Not a ton of pressure for Pigeon Stitches to go quite yet, as the point now up to 95. Looks like Piecemeal going to retreat to their side of the objective, as both teams wait to see who's going to take the engage. Bro Beef will be locked up by the scroll, as well as with the bullet, and so he will yet again go down. However, no one locked up by Ring of Frost this time around, but Killer Fry did end up taking a lot of damage anyways. Gambit looking to confirm the kill, as it looks like it's going to be a huge verification salvo. Killer Fry taking a lot, but it will actually end up being Sonya who ends up going down. Black and Avian will still go down there. However, trading out is Oddthought. Now Apollyon taking a lot of damage, will go down to Death Child area, and so it will be Pigeon Stitches winning the fight, and also the Protector. Death Child area going deep, looking for the kill on the Dark Knight. Now Killer Fry going in. TP already used, so Dark Knight will end up going down. Will not be up for the defense here. So what will Pigeon Stitches do? Will they go for the, looking to get the early keep here? Looks like they will. As it will be a bottomless, or not bottomless potion, but greater potions for Slava. I stand to be excused, as it looks like Pigeon Stitch is just going to take the forts, not look for the keep in the top lane. In fact, not even look for the fort in the mid lane here. Instead of going to rotate all the way down. I think they had the time and mana advantage to where they could have just gone for that top keep. Instead, just going to fall back, get the fort at least, or excuse me, the well at least, and look for the fort. Scroll not able to quite find anyone from Slava this time around. Pauline taking a lot of damage though from the Protector, but with the well down, Pigeon Stitch is just going to be looking to back up here. Looking to potentially try to get some DPS done with the Protector. As Apollyon looking to be the target. However, not really finding enough damage, so we'll be forced to back up. Just able to get the top fort and the bottom wall down. You kind of need to find more value if you're Pigeon Stitches 12 minutes in the game. They will have 16 advantage though as they start on the protector camp. Killer Fry though spots out the invade coming out from Piecemeal. Yet again we see the curse bolt going on to Broiled Beef. Can they get the finish off though? A nice interrupt though on to Dark Knight will not allow for the purification salvo to go through. Broiled Beef forced to pop Avatar as Odd Thought and him locked up from the scroll of ceiling. They both will end up going down. So a team fight win coming through for Pigeon Stitches. They'll look to get the invade here onto the turret camp of Piecemeals. What else will they be able to do with this advantage? Piecemeal in the meantime going to be taking their siege camp in the top lane. While we see Pigeon Stitches moving on to the bot well. Will they look for more though? Looks like they won't, as the members of Piecemeal are about to come back up. And instead are going to just take their turret. Meanwhile, Piecemeal trying to soak up 16 here. Will now be coming through. But kind of a not well taken fight there by Piecemeal as they were down 16. And so Pigeon Stitch is able to get fight victory and open up that bot lane for a protector if they do win this next one. Both teams playing around the support camp, neither team willing to necessarily go in. Now we see Killer Fry getting the stun onto Broiled Beef, but is able to leap away. Root ends up catching 3 members of Pigeon Stitches. Slava forced to use Stay Wild to make sure there's no real follow-up, as it will be Sonya who ends up going down. Killer Fry very low, will still go down. Shive's being forced back up as well as Black and Avian, but they will be able to get the kill on Napoleon as well. And so that will allow for Pigeon Stitches to get the support camp here after winning yet another fight. Also to note is that Killer Fry did have souls, but so we'll be coming back now, but will not have them for the next capture point as he starts to build them back up in the top lane. Meanwhile, we see the members of Piecemeal going to be rotating to clear out the bot lane. Get some push going with their massive amount of archer minions. I guess it's just normal ranged minions. Mini Rainer minions in the bot lane. Whatever you want to call them on this map. Meanwhile, Pigeon Stitch is spreading out, looking to potentially get close to 20 here, as they are just a level away and have almost a 2-level advantage now on Piecemeal. They're looking to set up onto the flank, maybe get the turret camp before the next objective. Instead, it's going to be going in, but it's Killer Fry taking a lot of damage. Will end up going down thanks to the leap from Sonya. So Pigeon Stitch is going to be forced to back out after the pick from Piecemeal. Great job taking advantage of a kind of split, funneled in Pigeon Stitches. As Piecemeal seemed to know that Pigeon Stitches were coming on the flank, took advantage of the narrow corridor. And so Black Davian and Slava going to be trying to get some siege going in the top lane to push with their siege camp. Pauline being forced to back in the defense. However, at max, it's going to be a 4v4 here in the top lane. As now Death Child and Black Avian going to be taking the siege camp of Piecemeals to help with the siege as well. Broiled Beef now back in order to help with the defense. And so with Killer Fry almost back up, it looks like Pigeon Stitch is now going to be rotating, looking to potentially get 20. And it looks like they're just going to be trying to out-rotate Piecemeal and catch the member who is on the point. It was Odd Thought, looking to just trying to get out. Will be forced to pop Emerald Wind to force Shives off. But still, you take that if you're Pigeon Stitches, now that you have your 20s coming through, and Killer Fry joins back up with the team on the capture point. 20s coming through, as it will be Brain to Solarion. Don't know why I could not pronounce that. For Imperius, a big red button for Odin upgrade, Hunter's Blunderbuss for Greymane, Bottomless Potions for Deckard, and Lord of Terror for Killer Fry. As the top 4 is now finished off by Piecemeal, they're going to be rotating down into the mid lane. they don't have 20, so they are going to take the smart way and just put map pressure elsewhere, as they can't really afford to take a straight up team fight quite yet. And it's not like the Protector is going to be right on the core to where they're kind of forced to take a fight now. They still have that entire bot keep and wall up. So this is still defensible if they're down 20s for the defense. So they're able to take both the top and mid forts. Meanwhile, the Protector is taken now by Pigeon Stitches. This time, Slav and Killer Fry going to be in the Protector. As the defense going to be started here by Piecemeal. Playing pretty defensive as the wall gets disintegrated by the Protector. Already going in by Odd Thought with the teleport onto Apollyon. We see Cursed Bullet going on Broiled Beef, will be forced to leap away, as well as Blacked Avian popping the ult. Odin now being used by Deathchild area, as it looks like Pigeon Stitch is going to be going for the victory. Gambit leaping on a Deathchild area, as well as the remaining members actually ends up dashing into the Ring of Frost, so Deathchild area will end up going down, but a lot of siege damage going onto the core there with the Protector, as now Imperius ends up going down. Shives and the Protector, the only ones ends up being left open. Now it's just the Protector who will be able to finish off the game, as Pigeon Stitches will be able to even up the series 1-1. Overall, yet again, another back and forth game there, but Pigeon Stitch is able to get the XP advantage. Now, even though they were picked off a little bit late, we're able to get the victory. As we now look to the stats, it was Apollyon who was barely able to edge off Shives in terms of damage that game. 62,000 to 61,000. Meanwhile, Slava out healing Odd Thought, 70,000 to 45,000. Broiled Beef out tanking Killer Fry that game, 83 to 70,000. And Gambit out soaking Blackened Avian barely. Now looking to the talents though. We do see 20 was picked up. Not able to be picked up, excuse me, by Piecemeal in the end. However, one thing to note, I thought did go this full polymorph build, which is pretty interesting. You don't really see that often. Instead, you see kind of more of an all-around build coming out from, or a Q-focus build for Brightwing. But it will be Towers of Doom being picked up by Piecemeal here for game number 3. Very fitting game to end off the series, as it has been a back and forth game. Why not go to one of, in my opinion, the most epic maps for competitive play? We've seen some great series, but one that allows for teams to stay in till the very end. And so this game and this series will likely come down to very late, as these are two very even teams. Thanks, Murda, for the kind comment in chat as I try to catch up. Yeah, I have to shout out, I believe it was Shives on the Greymane. Had some great Cursed Bullets to follow up with Killer Fry's charges, as they were able to burst down Broiled Beef on Murden. A very impressive feat, as well as Slava's I'm blanking on the name, Scroll of Ceilings to lock up the members of Piecemeal there were pretty key. However, definitely turned aroundable by Piecemeal. They had that advantage in the mid game there, being able to pick up the second Protector. It's just the XP advantage they were never able to come, or being down in terms of XP, they were never able to come back from. Teams, though, are ready, so we will be getting right into the draft here. I think the teams are going to keep it relatively the same. Looking at Piecemeal on this map so far this year, they might end up, the only swap perhaps is going to Li Ming. Okay, last match against Indy Oakley, they went Li Ming, Charonda, Murden, Zul, Cassia. So a very different comp than what we've seen them running this match. So could be interesting if they go that direction this time around. Versus, I think Pigeon Stitch is going to stay with that same Greymane Diablo dive combo this time around as it ended working out for them last map. Maybe that's the draft they've been looking for. But anyways, first of all, first ban from Pigeon Stitches. These teams likely going to be staying with the same bans. So I try to remember what the two teams have been banning out. Anubrak was banned by Pigeon Stitches last map, as Toronto will be first banned by them yet again. So we won't see Toronto as part of the comp I mentioned earlier from Piecemeal coming out at least. Will they stay with the Maiev ban though on the side of Piecemeal? Or maybe you ban out Greymane? As Max Zillion was saying, a lot of value you get from Cursed Bullet. So that it opened up you being able to get engages onto the broiled beef instead of forced to look deeper onto a backline member of Piecemeal. But instead it will be the Maiev yet again banned out by Piecemeal. Now will we see the Nubrak ban? Or something else from Pigeon Stitches? Looks like they will ban a Nubrak, so we'll be looking to pick up Diablo first, if it's not banned out here by Piecemeal. Will they end up banning out the Diablo though? Or will they just stick with their same bans? It looks like Piecemeal gonna decide to ban Ana actually. Very interesting. It looks like they want to play more defensive comp potentially, that signals. Maybe you don't, if they are running the Zul instead of Sonya, you don't have Gambit being able to go on to put pressure. As Killerfry actually gonna pick up Johanna this time around. So Pigeon Stitch is gonna swap it up yet again on Towers of Doom. I don't believe we've seen Johanna at least from Pigeon Stitches yet this season. No, we have not. So how are they gonna go defensive as well? After very aggressive comps from them. As Odd Thought actually gonna be on Jaina if there are no swaps that come through, and Gambit this time on Raynor. So a total swap up on the side of Piecemeal. Or maybe we will see swaps later on after the draft. But if that holds, that's very interesting. Especially if we end up seeing a solo lane Raynor. It's been I don't think I remember a solo lane Raynor on Towers of Doom. Thinking back to my time playing this game. Meanwhile, Death Shield area going to be on Hanzo this time around with Slava back on Deckard. So the team's going to change it up for Towers. Lots of clear though early on by both teams. You have Odd Thought on the Jaina. Meanwhile, Death Shield area, especially if he ends up going scatter build, will have a lot of clear in order to help not only take the Saber camps, but also for the wave clear along with Killerfry's Johanna. Meanwhile, Phoenix going to be banned out this time by Piecemeal, signaling that Dark Knight will not be playing the Phoenix this time around. And perhaps confirming that Dark Knight might not be playing Assassin this time around. Meanwhile, Garrosh going to be banned out this time by Pigeon Stitches. So I really don't know what might be coming here from Piecemeal. as they've totally swapped up their strategy here for game number 3. It looks like it will be Broiled Beef back on the Muradin and Dark Knight on the Zool. So kind of bringing a little bit from their last match on Towers of Doom in terms of the off-laner main tank combo. With Dark Knight going to be playing the Zool instead of being on the assassin duty as he has been this night. Meanwhile, the last picks for Pigeon Stitches here. The big question marks, as it will be Black Navy on Yrel this time, and Shives getting to play Kael'thas as it was not third banned by Piecemeal. So ton of clear on the side of Pigeon Stitches. Meanwhile, the support pick left for Apollyon, who also has been on Assassin this time around, if they don't swap. Perhaps we just saw Dark Knight and Apollyon maybe taking a bio break, and so forced Odd Thought and Gambit to have to pick up the heroes for their counterparts. What support will we be seeing from Piecemeal? It will be Lucio this time around. I definitely really like the Lucio pickup. And I think I overall prefer the comp here of Piecemeal, because I've never seen a non-aggressive comp come out from Pigeon Stitches. Sure, Johanna can be used as an aggressive main tank, but as opposed to when you're used to using Diablo and Nubrak, definitely forces a big change up here from Pigeon Stitches, versus we've seen Piecemeal be able to succeed with more backline comps already. But with it coming to Towers of Doom, this is definitely anyone's game. Lunchbox does point out that perhaps we do see the double soak Zool. Very possible. I generally prefer to see Mouthdale in that role, but Zool definitely able to perform that job well. As we see for game number 3, for Piecemeal looking to prevent the reverse sweep, or at least close out the series, it will be Broiled Beef on the Muradin, Apollyon on the Jaina, Odd Thought on the Lucio, Gambit on the Raider, Dark Knight on Zool. I think that's it. Meanwhile, for Pigeon Stitch, it's going to be Slava on the Deckard Shives. This time on Kael'thas, Blackened Avian on Yrel, Killer Fryer on Johanna, Deaf Child area on Kael'thas. Looks like it's just going to be Jaina in the mid lane to start. Perhaps just didn't get the memo, going to rotate down to join the rest of the team. Looks like they're going to be starting aggressively, looking to get some free siege damage here in the bot lane. Just having Dark Knight try to get some early skeletons in order to get just a turret down. I like this really aggressive stance from Piecemeal. Every advantage in the bot lane counts a lot. Meanwhile, Broiled Beef though took a lot of damage, but will be able to barely leap out in time. As we saw the full 5-member rotation down from Pigeon Stitches. Looking to the talents. It will be Scatter Quest at level 1 from a Deaf Child area. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be Party Mix at level 1 from Odd Thought. Don't generally see that as often. Instead, people looking for a basic attack heals or greater movement speed on walls. Looks like Broiled Beef looking to get the well done early, but maybe cut out by the scroll here. Can they find the damage though on the Broiled Beef? And that they will not be able to. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it will be Dark Knight being harassed by Darkened Avian, as both of these solo laners are called upon to be double soaking for now. Meanwhile, Piecemeal though have been able to do a ton of siege damage already, just a minute and a half into the game. While we do see Deathchild, Aryan, and Slava backing up in order to get their sapper camp, while Piecemeal back up now to do the same. But looks like Killer Fry looking potentially for an invade here, as Piecemeal was late to start their camp. We do see Odd Thought locked up by the scroll, but no real follow-up from the remaining members of Pigeon Stitches, so they are just going to back up for now and allow for Piecemeal to finish off their sapper camp while they escort in the 3 sappers on the side of Pigeon Stitches. Overall, though, we do have a 1 level advantage early on from Pigeon Stitches. Should be interesting to see where that XP might be coming from, as it looks like slightly advantage, or a large advantage in terms of minions. That's a good sign if you are Pigeon Stitches. I guess they did get the 1 wave mid, and then it looks like Blackened Avian able to keep up so far with Zool. However, the 2 teams going to be engaging in order, as Pigeon Stitches looks to stop the sapper camp. Will not be allowing any sappers to go in, as Shive's now trying to deal some damage to broiled beef. As the main fight gonna be in the bot lane over the bot altar. Killer Fry looking to go in as they end up finding Apollyon with the scroll. Broiled beef taking a lot of damage, forced to jump out, as already the top shrine being taken by Piecemeal. Slava trying to capture the shrine now, but forced out by Gambit. As now we see Pigeon Stitches picking up the top one, but in comes Dark Knight in order to try to potentially turn around this fight. Killer Fry being forced to back up, as Slava ends up getting rooted there by Dark Knight, who'll be forced to back up. Blackened Avian was last to rotate from the solo lane, and so Pigeon Stitch is just trying to stall. Will be able to as Blackened Avian gets into the fight now, as Apollyon does back off to tap. Both teams gonna be healing up before we go for round number 2 on this altar. Blackened Avian starting the channel, but not gonna be able to get it as long as all the members of Piecemeal are still alive. Dark Knight now going in, forcing them back off, but Pigeon Stitches will be able to get the channel through there. So getting the early 4-shot advantage. I didn't see who actually got the channel quite there. So sneaky that even the caster didn't see it. But now the soul laners will be going back to their lanes. Shive's actually taking a lot of damage there from Gambit, who canceled the wall jump, but still able to get away. As now we do see, though, Deathchild area rotating up to mid in order to help Blackened Avian with the double soak, which will allow for Piecemeal to get yet more siege damage in the spot lane, looking to finish off the spot gate. They will be able to do so as Deathchild area now back into this lane, bot lane. Shive's taking a lot of damage, looking to get the response on, yet again, onto Broiled Beef, who has been the focus by Pigeon Stitches this entire series, but not quite able to find the damage. Clear now coming through from Killer Fry, as we do see Apollyon starting Piecemeal's siege camp. 7 advantage now coming through for Pigeon Stitches, as now the crucially Divine Steed being picked up will really help out Blackened Avian trying to double soak. Meanwhile, full scatter talents actually coming through from Shives. Not looking to get the what you generally take at 4, which is the Q burst on minions. Now as we see the engaged Shives stepped up in order to get some damage onto Broiled Beef, but Gambit going to be locked up from the scroll. Will force for Piecemeal to disengage for now, as the teams look to clear the other team's sappers camps. Altars activating in the top lane, as it is just the soul laners for now. Looks like the teams are content, though, just to allow for the soul laners to trade out the altars in top for now. And so Pigeon Stitches will keep their 4-shot advantage. However, the 4-man's going to be nice. Get a free rotation in, or free, wave clear in for their solo laners in order to help them out with the struggle of double soaking. However, Piecemeal going to be back at trying to find yet even larger siege damage advantage. Shive's now rotating in to even back up the numbers, taking a lot of damage from Gambit, but is able to finish off the scatter quest there at 6 minutes. Pretty good pace overall. Deathchild area now the focus, ends up getting stunned up and knocked back, will end up going down. And so Gambit gonna be looking to push the issue here a little bit, as the wave is cleared out by Piecemeal. Gonna be now pushing in with the wave coming in, as XP is now evened up. Now Shive's being stunned up, taking a lot of damage there from Apollyon, but will not end up going down. Apollyon taking a lot of damage as Dark Knight rotates down in order to potentially look to secure the spot tower. However, that will allow Black and Avian to pick up ults here in just a second for Pigeon Stitches. They will be able to finish off the will on the side of Piecemeal, but ults have come through. The arrow is thrown out by Shives as well as the Blasted Shield. Pauline very low as well as Broiled Beef, as we do see the Blasted Shield coming out from Black and Avian. Not able to get too much of an effect, as Piecemeal able to disengage as they now pick up their own ults. It will be Skeletons for Zool, Ring of Frost yet again. As in goes Piecemeal looking for the kill on a Deathchild area yet again. Will be able to find it. Ring of Frost not quite able to find anyone, but Haymaker on the Shives will lock him up as well. And so Piecemeal going to be able to pick up this bot tower and even up the shots, as well as look to finish off this bot tower. Get the bot altar and look to get the bot tower. In fact, they're going to try to get the bot tower before the capping. Very smart move here from Piecemeal, taking full advantage of their 2-mana advantage, as they will now go up a shot on Pigeon Stitches. I don't think Pigeon Stitches was ready for just how aggressive Piecemeal has been looking to get just any siege damage as possible. And it's been working, as they've been able to now secure the all-valuable bot tower. And now they're going to be able to also steal Pigeon Stitches' siege camp. However, can Pigeon Stitches take back this bot tower now? Looks like they won't be looking for the take back quite yet. Instead, backing up as they prepare to defend against the 3 sappers coming through. As we see Killer Fry stepping up, will be able to easily clear it. Piecemeal not looking to quite press the issue yet. Instead, more concerned about just keeping the spot tower, as Black and Avian does rotate down in order to help with the take back of the tower. We'll be going in onto Gambit, but not looking to push the issue too much. Broiled Beef looking for the engage on a Deathchild area, able to dodge away before Odd Thoughts a push off, able to slow him. But Piecemeal able to defend for now, as we do see Hyperion coming through. Shives taking a lot of damage there, even being haymakered away for looking to finish him off. But Apollyon will end up being the one who goes down. Now Dark Knight in quite a bit of trouble. Ends up being Lornadoed in a little bit. But can they find the damage to get another pick on the side of Pigeon Stitches? They're looking for Broiled Beef yet again. But with this tower up, they won't be able to go any further and are forced to back up, as the members of Pigeon Stitches are still pretty low. Altar spawning in 10 seconds. They will be able to rotate there in time, as they do look to take the safe rotate around. Some members do, the other members are not. Slava kind of caught out a little bit here by Gambit and Broiled Beef, as the 4-man though able to successfully get away. This is a really awkward fight for both sides, as now Broiled Beef, Gambit, and Oddthought coming from the flank, looking to go onto Shives. Oddthought going very aggressively on the Lucio, as we do see Broiled Beef locked up. Shives taking a lot of damage from Apollyon, will end up going down. Deathchild area also locked up from Ring of Frost, but will be able to escape for now. Meanwhile, down below, we do see the disengaged Lornado coming through, as Deathchild area will still end up going down there to Apollyon. And so that will allow for Piecemeal to pick up this altar and go up now 6 shots, as well as being able to pick up 13 thanks to their 2 kills. If you're Pigeon Stitches, you can't really afford to go for the defense here. You can't afford to get picked off, as we do see Black and Avian doing that. And so that's yet an even longer time that Piecemeal is going to be able to hold this bot fort, as now they look to invade yet again Pigeon Stitches Zapper camp, as now we see Shives going very low, but not able to be engaged upon from underneath the protected space of Pigeon Stitches. Oh, now Deathchild area looking to be locked up, ends up getting rooted, but a nice lockup there from Slava. Gonna force Piecemeal back for now. Now Killer Fry looking to go in, find the engage, or at least clean up the sappers, which he's able to do so. However, crucially, Piecemeal was able to clear the wave, so they won't be able to siege yet again on the side of Pigeon Stitches. Piecemeal kind of putting on a clinic of how to play this map right now. However, Pigeon Stitches able to quickly clear the wave and take back this tower just now. So on the road to recovery now, if you are Pigeon Stitches, However, you crucially cannot allow for that tower to fall yet again. Maybe a flank coming here from Apollyon, able to get a Ring of Frost onto two members, as instantly we see two members deleted on the side of Pigeon Stitches. Slava and Killer Fry in a lot of trouble, as Apollyon barely able to stay alive there. In fact, going aggressively even with the semi-health. A nice turnaround there from Killer Fry, able to at least get the trade out onto Apollyon. Oh boy, Apollyon, a little greedy there. As Black and Avian gonna look to steal Piecemeal's altar right now. Can Gambit get the rotation in time? It's gonna be close, not able to find it. And so now Slava gonna also be able to channel their own. And so Pigeon Stitches gonna be close to evening it up. Just 2 shots down now. A huge turnaround here from Pigeon Stitches from what looked like a crucial one fight from Piecemeal on the road to getting this game back into their advantage. Pigeon Stitches able to turn it around. Oh boy, Towers of Doom definitely living up to the hype so far. As you see Piecemeal now able to get their sapper camp and look to continue their siege on this bot tower and take it back. The members rotating in from Pigeon Stitches. Slava potentially caught out here, forced to use the disengaged Tornado as well as Phoenix being popped. And so Piecemeal gonna wait for their sapper camp to catch up. All 5 members, though, gonna be in the spot lane for the crucial defense and escort. Finger's Frost gonna be completed here by Jaina, as we see the engage coming in from Killer Frost, or Killer Fry, looking for the damage onto Broiled Beef, but the arrow does not connect there from Shives. Yet we see Pigeon Stitches trying to chase onto Gambit. Black and Avian forced away, trying to force Piecemeal away, as yet again Death Child area going to be locked up there. Haymaker away will be finished off. Ring of Frost ends up connecting to Black and Avian, but the damage not yet quite able to come through. Hyperion doing a lot, as well as Apollyon looking to finish off the kill, not able to quite to find it. Now Killer Fry in a lot of trouble, will end up going down. Now Shives, Broiled Beef looking for the kill, will be able to find it, as now Piecemeal will be able to take back this tower and get domination of the map, or control, excuse me, of the map in hand. After this altar phase, Pigeon Stitch is going to be down to just 8 health. And crucially, basically 1 altar and a boss away, or 2 altars away from the end of the game. S16 is now picked up there from Piecemeal. Bone Spear coming in from Zool. Interesting pickup, but I will admit I am a Bone Spear user, so I love the pickup. But overall was going that W build in order to become more of a bruiser. Get the healing through. As we do see the engage here. As the Phoenix is used, as well as the arrow just blows up Apollyon. That might be the pick that Pigeon Stitches need, as we see Blessed Shield ends up going on to Gambit and Dark Knight. But a nice disengage there from Gambit forces Killer Fry and Black and Avian back with the knockback. However, the 1-member advantage for Pigeon Stitches should allow for them to take back this tower. As Shives and Killer Fry just looking to get some poke damage onto Broiled Beef. However, Gambit holding strong here with the defense. Doing what you need to do when you're trying to defend the spot tower, which is just focus on clearing the wave. As Dark Knight now stepping up to do just that. Black and Avian taking a lot of damage here from the tower, will end up going down there. Now Killer Fry forced to pop, tried to go to be able to back up, as Odd Thought does use the beat drop. Oh no, Shives in a lot of trouble, will end up going down. The damage from Broiled Beef and Gambit, as the 2-member advantage now in favor of Piecemeal, as this might be the end of the game here. Altar spawning in 10 seconds. They do need both of them channeled, but they are well set up for for Piecemeal to be able to take the game in the series. As we do see Dark Knight gonna start on the bot channel. Will not be contested here from Pigeon Stitches. Instead, they're gonna wait for the mid one, looking to get some poke in here. Othot does go in onto Killer Fry, who will be forced to step up on Apollyon to stop the channel. Yet again, it's Death Child area, who will be the focus and will instantly end up going down. Able to get the Phoenix off due to a lot of damage to Apollyon, but I don't think it will be enough. A nice tornado there will force Piecemeal to have to loop around the objective, as the arrow coming through will connect with 2, as in comes the Ring Frost, will end up locking up Blackened Avian, who will still end up going down. Now Killer Fry will go down. It's just 2 members up for Pigeon Stitches. They need a miracle here in order to keep the game alive. Slava will end up going down. It's just Shives up. He will end up going down. I thought we'll get the channel, and that will be the game and the series as Piecemeal locks it up. But overall, a fantastic series from both teams being played, but Piecemeal able to edge out Pigeon Stitches for the victory. Whew. What a great series here to finish out the day. As we look, it will be the overall damage dealer was Gambit on the Raider with 68,000 versus Shive's 58,000, but crucially lead siege damager, which includes the clear, was Dark Knight on the Zool, 101,000 to Killer Fry's 83,000, when he was able to rotate down their late game and help with the defense, clear out the waves, as well as with Gambit. Piecemeal had a strategy and successfully executed it on it in this game. Meanwhile, I thought out-healed Deckard on Lucio. And we saw Killer Fry out-tanking Broiled Beef on that Murden. And then last but not least, Dark Knight did out-soak Blackened Avian in the double soak wars. As the kills did go 18-3, as Piecemeal was able to force a lot of fights underneath that bot tower in their defense of the bot tower. But still a great series, as we'll look to see if we can get a member of Piecemeal to talk about the series at hand. As we look at some of the talents, pretty standard builds from what my limited talent knowledge is. The only thing to note is we did see the full scatter build out from Shives. As well as kind of more of a Q focus build from Jaina and Apollyon. As it looks like it will be a Dark Knight, the solo laner, who will be joining us for the interview. Hello, Dark Knight.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Congrats on your victory tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
So going back to game number 1 on Infernal Shrines, you guys ended up kind of losing a couple fights early on. How were you able to turn around that game?
I just, first of all, really much, credit to Pigeon Stitches. They really came prepared and they really came to fight. And so, just slow rotations, and they were able to pick, someone off. And, you get that every little XP makes a difference. And so it's just really just staying focused and just say, hey, remember, you know, Storm League, it's GG within the first minute, but no, just stay focused, and we practice certain comps and just remember what we were trying to do, just maintain focus, and really that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, one thing we saw out of Pigeon Stitch's first game was Zeratul Anubrak. How do you try to... What do your fights look like when you're going up against a Zeratul?
Well, that was one of our... We were in Ginormous Jaegers last year or last season with Ogle, and so I know the ins and outs of, I usually would be the noob with Zeratul. So it's really knowing once they come in, especially now with the nerf to Zera, we're like, once they go in, they die. And so we just really had to take that mentality.
Meanwhile, we saw you on Lasonia for game number 1. What was your mentality specifically in fights? Were you trying more to look for engages and be aggressive, or maybe try to peel off against the dive from Pigeon Stitches?
Actually, I was, Gambit was on.
Oh, you are right. Yeah. I forget you
That was
guys, I forgot you guys swapped roles for game number 3. You were on the Phoenix for games 1 and 2.
yeah.
Uh, so I guess how do you, as a Phoenix, try to survive though against an aggressive dive from an Anubrak plus Zeratul?
Well, that like I said, we knew that they were going in, so that's why actually odd picking up the Uther at the end was important because, like I said, once they came in, we had the Uther to kind of help support, and so that was the idea is they're going to go in. Uther kind of provides that support to make sure we can focus on a single target, and so that was very important, especially in later fights.
Now, one thing we saw common across all 3 games was your guys' use of Murden with grilled beef on the Murden. Why does your team like Murden so much?
Well, it really comes down to what our roster is. We have 9 players, and if you look at what we played today, what we played last game, what we played the game before that, it's been different pretty much every single match. And so we switch up with who is available, and so we just change up our strategy based on the player who's going to play a certain role and the team we're playing against.
Now
And
going,
so we
oh yeah,
right.
keep
I
going,
was gonna
keep
say,
going.
and we felt that that would be a good combo for what we were trying to get done.
Now going on to game number 2 on Volskaya, you guys kind of fell behind early, but were able to, and I guess not really take control of the game. What do you think maybe went wrong on Volskaya?
I think it's just the really after 10, they did a really good job of their combo of blowing up Murden, and so that really was they did a really good job with that. So credit again to Pigeon Stitches for pulling out that combo, and it was difficult because we have a slower output damage besides Jaina, but they did a really good job of catching, focusing on target. I mean, this is just really good execution on that. So credit to them.
One thing though, although it's not a position you want to be in, but one thing you guys did do very well was the defense against the Protector, which really only got, I believe, 2 forts total throughout the 3 Protectors, and then, of course, the last one is so strong it's hard to defend against. But what were you guys able to do to prevent Pigeon Stitches from getting too much value out of the Protector?
I think it's just focusing. Again, we have Jaina, and Jaina just really good job. So we did a really good job of focusing on Phoenix. Also helps with that. Um, I think who they had in the Protector kind of also changed that because a lot of the times they had Diablo in it, and I mean later on I think they switched. But if they would have had Diablo out, I think they could have done a little bit more. Even though he doesn't provide siege, he would force us to back off a little bit more.
Now moving on to game number 3 on Towers of Doom. You guys definitely came in with the strategy with that double soak Zool focus on the bot siege. So as a double soaking Zool on Towers of Doom, what's kind of going through your mind early on in the game?
Kill minions. It's a very fun interactive little mini game going on, but just making sure to soak XP and not give it up. I mean that, and it's very hard. And so again, they picked Arel, which I thought was a really good pick against Zol, but I think just the bottom pressure eventually kind of gave us the advantage.
One thing you guys were able to do really well was defend that bot tower. How do you think, was there any one thing you guys did, do you think, to keep that bot tower under your control? Or was it maybe an amalgamation of things? What do you think allowed for you guys to hold on to that bot tower?
Well, I think it's just everybody on the team did a good job focusing a target, and maybe they had KT who can clear waves, and just Uriel can come and disrupt. So just being very careful about our positioning, and it just very little small things that add up eventually. So I think that third game, especially after the second game, that Pigeon State just did again. Like I said, credit to them. They really came and did a good job on that second game, and just maintain focus and making sure that we execute how we have practiced.
Now, we saw you coming down to help with the defense occasionally in that third game. How do you make the call of when you want to help with the defense versus keep the double soak going?
Well, it's kind of played by the ear, but you got to see, what information's out on the map, where they're located, where, what advantage do we have. And so usually we would make the call, hey, we need to come down and defend this. And, if we control that bottom tower, that enables a lot of other types of either fights and et cetera. So I think everybody knows it's a very important tower to protect once you have control of. And it's just really seeing what, where the team's at, do we have the advantage or not? And so I think we did a really good job of executing that in the third game.
And then my last question is any shoutouts you have with your victory today?
First of all, thank you for casting. I always appreciate being able to watch the VODs later. Shout out to my teammates. Again, doing a good job pulling through the victory. Again, good job, Pigeon Stitches. They did a really good job pushing us really that second game. And again, thanks to NGS and everybody in chat.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Dark Knight. And again, congrats on your win and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And with that, that will do it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll probably be having a cast tomorrow. I've kind of been trying to adapt the role of filling in the holes, so I have my eye tomorrow on likely another little bit earlier match than this one, an 8:30 or 8:15ish, a Div D game. So look out for that, and of course there'll be a ton of action tomorrow if you're looking to stay in Div C, whether it's early on with a 7:30 game in Nexus Cast versus Save the Murloc, which our great NGS writer staff said is the match to watch this week in Div C, or if you want to stay in the West, we got Paraloop versus Plugwalk tomorrow at 8:30 Central. Should mention what time zone I'm in, as well as Team Rainbow Strike Go versus 10 Armor at 9:30 Central. So 7:30 Pacific, assuming if you're in West, you're on the Pacific time zone. But also thanks to Gambit for the follow, and thanks everyone else for watching. I hope to see you in the future, Cass. And no matter what, good luck, have fun, and I will see you in the Nexus. Have a good night.